I got ready for the 2001 ride by first learning how to walk again, because when I first got diagnosed, I had lost my ability to walk. Then my goal was to get on a bike, and my friend Scott and I went out to Kensington Metro Park, which is Circle of Friends training grounds, and we decided that we'd do the 8-mile loop around. It was a really sad realization for me to know that I had gone from being a pretty good cyclist, definitely one of the tops in the MS 150 rides, to barely being able to make it 8 miles around Kensington. I knew at that point that with some good training and a lot of support from Scott and my family, that I would be able to get across the finish line. And sure enough, I made it across the finish line. I did do some permanent damage to myself, MS-wise, because I relapsed because of the stress that I put my body under.
Some MS patients, if their body temperature goes up, some of their old symptoms can come back.
Her relationship with her doctor, I think, is pretty good, and he gives her a lot of space to make up her own mind.
She knows how to manage herself, so there's not really a lot for me to add. So be careful about this, be careful about that. Specifically about, getting dehydrated, getting overheated, and so forth.
He may throw out a cautionary word every now and then, but he's not saying don't do it. He's saying if you feel this or this or this or this way,
stop, rest, cool down, hydrate well, like anybody else.
Some people say, why would you continue to do that to yourself when you know that you run a risk of doing that? I do everything I can not to put myself into a relapse.
Yeah, she keeps track of herself. She stays in good shape. She's pretty healthy.
One of the problems with a diagnosis of MS is that you're told, don't get hot, don't stress yourself, don't get sick. Those three things are very difficult to control unless you stay in your house. And a lot of people, when they're diagnosed, just kind of become a shut-in. And I want those people to understand that it doesn't have to be that way. You can go out and live your life and be adventurous, and just don't let MS stop you from living. And I think that that's one of the things that I want to show people when I ride as an MS patient. I see people all the time that have MS along the route, and they say, you're crazy for doing this.
If she does develop very specific symptoms, then she needs to, really stop, take a serious rest, and see if she recovers and can go back. She can go back.
I give everybody who has MS who decides to do the ride a lot of credit, because you have to pay attention to a lot of signs that your body's giving you to cool down or slow down or stop.
She uses ice to cool down her body at each rest stop. The rest stops seem to occur approximately every 10 miles or 12 miles. And you can heat up quite a bit in that period of time.
I'm lucky enough to have my dad's girlfriend, Judy, who has an air-conditioned car that stops at random stops. And I can hop in her car when I get to a rest stop and cool off in the air conditioning. And where I throw ice cubes, along my neck and down my shirt and everywhere I can get ice to cool myself down. But I really have to pay attention to the signals that my body is giving me so that I don't run into problems.
She's learned her body enough to know when she needs to, drink a cold drink or put ice, on herself to cool down, or give in to the fatigue for half an hour before she gets back on the saddle.
It's very meaningful to have my dad on the ride for me. However, I do see the concern in his eyes sometimes when he sees me lying in a car trying to cool off, or you know, he sees me going fast and he catches up to me and says, you know, why don't you slow down for a little while, or why don't you let me pull for a while, or whatever. And I can see the concern in his eyes. I think he's proud of me for doing it, but at the same time he is obviously concerned. And I know that a lot of people are concerned.
If she recovers but starts getting symptoms really quickly again, then it may be time to stop that particular race. But she hasn't gotten to that yet. She may never.
And the MS bike rides are just so incredibly important to me. It's just a part of me. So to give up doing the bike rides, I think that I would be giving up a part of myself, and I don't want to allow MS to do that to me.